doing today? I know we all are doing amazing. We are back again with our amazing doctor, best-selling author, health coach, Dr. Naomi Dangumans. Let's talk about our health and well-being. Let's talk about our health. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things, all the bad things about our health. Let's talk about, let's talk about our health and well-being. Today, we are going to discuss another important topic with our amazing doctor. We are going to discuss, do you know what we are going to discuss? You can gaze. We are going to discuss about our gut. In our last discussion, we had an interesting topic. We discussed about our poo, how we can detect how the system is working through our poo. I know it sounds funny, but that's the reality. In the last episode, we got a lot of positive feedback from our viewers. That's amazing. Doc, what can you say about that?
Well, it's interesting. I'm so grateful that people actually, looked into it.
Yeah.
I hope they look back when they when they went off the toilet.
Yeah, honestly.
That you now know a bit more about how you can, look if everything is going well inside.
Yeah, honestly, there was a lot of positive feedback from the last, episode.
Cool.
Today, we are going to discuss about our gut. So many of us, we hear gut, G-U-T, gut. Have you taken your time to research on what gut is? Today, our amazing doctor will talk us through on what gut is and how it impacts our health. So, Doc, actually, good health, in my research, I found out that good health begins in the gut. So can you tell us about gut? What is it actually, and how does it affect our health?
Yeah. What you just said, good health begins in the gut. There was already Hippocrates who said that. There was a guy from Greece. But the gut is often referred to as our second brain because it affects more than just our digestion. So it's good. We need it for digestion, of course, but it's our second brain. I'll explain it to you later.
Oh, that's amazing.
But the gut includes the entire gastrointestinal tract. So from mouth till your anus. And its health affects our immune system, our hormone levels, our mood, our mental health.
Yeah.
So, a well-functioning gut is what you said is key to breaking down food. It's you need it for absorbing nutrients, eliminating waste efficiently.
Yeah.
And additionally, the gut houses trillions and trillions of microbes that influence many ways of how our bodily functions work. And and that's what we call like the gut-brain axis. So the bacteria in our gut, they talk through the vagus nerve to our brain and back.
Wow. Oh my goodness. It is really interesting to know that. Listening to our body is very, very essential, as it often signals, when something is not proper, when, it is not working as it is supposed. What are signs that our gut is compromised? What do I mean here? What are those signs that will help us understand that our gut is having issues?
Yeah, well, there's several like red flags to watch for.
Yeah, yeah.
Digestive issues like bloating or gas or constipation, or the opposite, like diarrhea. Those are the most obvious signs. And I know like many people say, yeah, but it's like normal. I have it all the time. But actually, it's not normal. So it's really like your gut talking to you, like there is something going on. Please pay attention.
Wow.
But there are also like other ways. So maybe there is fatigue or skin problems like rosacea or eczema. Also immune conditions like MS, or but also like Parkinson's or dementia. Um,
Wow.
Mood changes like anxiety, depression. Very often it comes down to your gut. So
God.
it can be just really anything
Mm.
from gut problems itself to like other problems I just mentioned.
Wow. As you said, it is second to our brain. That is really interesting, honestly. God, because we always hear about gold. And the majority of us don't really understand what it is all about and how it impacts our health. Good. Thank you so much. And when you said bloating, people hear about bloating. How will you recognize that you are bloated?
Well, if your belly is more swollen than it should be, that is actually what's called bloating. And some people, they already have it like when they eat something, they within 5 minutes, their belly is swollen. And sometimes it happens like after a few hours or maybe a day after you've been eating something that's
Yeah.
not good for you.
Oh, and bloating is quite different from when you feel that there is air in your stomach. Are they different or it is the same? Sometimes you might feel that you have too much air in your stomach. Is it the same with bloating?
Well, yeah, maybe there are different. Now I understand. Maybe there are different ways of getting bloated. So some people who are eating very, very fast, they don't just swallow their food, but they also swallow air. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can already like give some bloating in your stomach. But what I mean is that very often what we see with irritable bowel syndrome, for example, 80% of people with IBS have SIBO, and SIBO is a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and it means that the bacteria from your colon, from your large intestines, are actually in your small intestines, and therefore, when you eat something, your digestion goes far too quickly. You get like digestion and you're getting bloated.
Oh my goodness.
And then it's very, very often quite painful and you're just not comfortable.
Comfortable. Yeah, and I think it's almost the same thing when someone has in the belly or in the stomach, and they feel like, oh, let me go and go out the other side and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what actually causes gall problems? What actually causes it?
Well, there are many factors that can contribute. Diet is a big thing, of course.
Yeah.
So eating highly processed foods, including the seed oils like sunflower oil, canola oil, those are very, very highly processed, very bad for your gut. Sugar, artificial ingredients, but that's just food. There are so many other things like stress is a big thing, lack of sleep. Within like 48 hours of bad sleep, your microbiome, so all the good bacteria in your gut, they just change. There will be a disbalance already within 48 hours of bad sleep. So sleep is very, very important. Medication, and especially antibiotics, because they will kill all the good bacteria. Also chronic inflammation. So for example, when you have leaky gut, and leaky gut can be caused by stress and gluten, and there is like a lot of things and toxins entering our bloodstream. Then you can get gut problems as well.
Wow.
But very often it's a combination. So it's not just only the food or only this, only that. It's really very often a combination.
Wow. So you mentioned stress, anxiety, and all these things are linked to mental health issues. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, yes and no. So for example, like 80% of your serotonin, that's like your happy hormone, is being produced in your gut.
Okay.
And if there is a disbalance of your bacteria in your gut, then there's not enough serotonin being produced. And actually serotonin, so it's for feeling happy, but it's also a precursor of melatonin.
Yeah.
And melatonin is very important for your sleep, but also for your immune system. So there's always like, and then like when you're not sleeping well, then you're signaling back like, okay, sleep more or whatever. Yeah. So there's always like a signaling from your brain to your guts and the other way.
Wow. And when we talk about sleeping well, most of the jobs we do nowadays, for example, those that work in health, they tend to do a lot of night shifts, which means they do night shifts. And, what do you have to say regarding to that?
Well, yeah, I've been doing lots and lots of night shifts as well, and I know it's not good for your health. So it's always good to try to sleep between 7 and 9 hours a night. And of course, when you work at night, you're changing your night, your day and night rhythm, and that is not good for your microbiome. So if you want to support that, maybe when you have night shifts, take some extra probiotics or eat some more fermented foods to really make sure that your microbiome is more in balance.
Yeah. And when we talk about this sleep of a thing, getting at least 7 to 8 hours sleep, does this sleep only in the night, having this sleep in the night, that night, is it? Or you can as well, maybe for those of them that will do night shifts, if they are able to get that length of sleep, 7 to 8 hours sleep during the day, can we say that they are getting enough sleep they are required for their health?
Yeah, we actually, there's been lots and lots of discussions about like what counts more, like what they say, like when you sleep before 12, those hours count double. It's actually, everyone is differently. So we cannot really say it's always like this, but in general, we know that we need 7 hours of sleep. But if you do that during the day, and if you have a rhythm like this, it's also pretty good, but still it's not optimal. But still try to sleep also during the day. If you have had a night shift, try to sleep at least 7 hours.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, the most important thing is having that, hours of sleep to get a good health.
And it's also about quality of sleep.
Quality. Oh, yeah.
So you need about like 20% of deep sleep and 20% of REM sleep, so where you're dreaming, more or less. So like 1.5 hour then per night. So it's not, so if you only have like superficial sleep, it's also not good enough. But like in general, 7 hours of sleep.
All right. So sorry, I didn't get that. You mentioned REM sleep. What does that mean?
REM, that's a rapid eye movement sleep. So actually your eyes are moving very quickly because you're dreaming and you're just like really in that dream. And then it's like more superficial sleep. And the deep sleep is like more for consolidating memories. And then you're like really sleeping deeply.
If anybody comes in where you are sleeping, you will not even notice
No,
that's the deep sleep we are
exactly.
talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And most of the time it's like more in the beginning of the sleep that you have your more of the deep sleep. And then more at the end of your sleep, you have your REM sleep.
Oh, okay. Wow, that is amazing. Right. What are tips for good gut health?
So beyond diet, I already mentioned some things in that. So try not to eat gluten because gluten raises zonulin, and zonulin can give you leaky gut. So that this is one thing. It's all about variation. So eat the rainbow of fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables. Drink lots of water, and make sure that you get enough fibers, and fibers need to swim. So and fibers are actually the food for the bacteria, for the probiotics. And then the probiotics try to diversify that by eating fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut, kombucha, kefir, beet kvass, different things. So that's for the diet. But furthermore, you need exercising.
Okay.
Because your intestines are moving, and you need to move them. I will help them a little bit. And that also like reduces inflammation throughout your body. And then stress. Managing stress is really, really important. And you can do anything from yoga, meditation, deep breathing exercises, for example. They
Like
all
this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We all breathe too shallow.
Yeah.
And actually that's not good for our health, our gut. And we need more carbon dioxide in our blood to get the oxygen inside the cells where they can produce energy. So when we breathe too shallow, there is too much carbon dioxide being breathed out. And then the oxygen, maybe you have 100% oxygen in your blood when you test it, but you should make sure it gets really inside the cells where it produces the energy. So deep breathing, or what we did before, the 4-7-8.
Yeah.
For 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. I really like that one. A few times a day, and you get
yeah. Can we just do that for 1 sec?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We do it 3 times, like 3 rounds.
Okay.
Okay, I try to count. We breathe in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's start. 1 time, nice slow breathing.
Okay.
Now breathe
Do
out.
we need to close our eyes?
You can close your eyes.
Okay.
And yeah, just whatever.
Yeah.
Relax.
But at this particular moment, I will leave my eyes open to, see what you are doing because
Okay, just for this time. But you can do it when you do it for yourself. You can close your eyes or keep them open, whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So now, 1 time, just your own breathing.
Okay.
And breathe out. And now we're starting. 4 in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my goodness. This is awesome. But you know what? It is not quite easy, because if you are doing it and counting it, you might miss along the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It is really interesting. Yeah. I
But you
mean,
can do it in your own tempo. So maybe this was too slow that you but I mean, it should feel comfortable. And then practice it more often. Then because I do it much slower.
Yeah.
like half
Wow.
tempo. So, but if some people need to do it a bit quicker, so, and it's all up to you. I mean, you shouldn't stress out your your body. So,
Mm.
and then, but if you practice this and you love it, it's actually stimulating your vagus nerve, so the
Okay.
nerve between your brain and your gut, and
Yeah.
it lowers your stress levels. So it's,
Mm.
and your cortisol levels. So it's really good for your gut.
Wow, these are those little things that we don't recognize how important it is
Yeah,
to our
exactly.
health.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just meditation. It's all about meditation. Maybe once you have finished what you are doing during the day, in the night, before you go to bed, you just use 5 minutes quiet time to do
Yeah.
this. And when you wake up in the morning, just give it another 5 minutes, quiet time to do this breathing. And it is good for our health generally, not
Yeah.
only, yeah, God, and yeah, wow, amazing. Have you had it? Yeah, give yourself a quiet time to do this kind of meditation. It is good for our health, our
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
And what you said,
Amazing.
it doesn't have to be long, because some people, they
Mm,
say, oh, I don't like meditation, because they think they have to sit still for like 30 minutes. And
mm,
but I mean, yeah, just do what I, for example, like is what you said, quiet time, just 5 minutes, or maybe just start with 1 minute, and then
mm,
just go and to the bottom of the sea, for example, and then you see the thing from the boat, and you just stay there and you just focus on
mm.
that, on the movement of the sea, and you just
Wow.
feel, well, nice and yeah, relaxed. I mean, and just for just start with 1 minute.
Mm. Wow, that is amazing. And there is something that, this, will I say, just a clarity. I want a clarification, because most of the time when we hear about meditation, so many of us think that meditation is, yes, a quiet time you take out for yourself, but to think. Does that make sense? Just
Mm.
use that quiet time to think about how you will pull the whole world, how you will make the whole money, how you will, but not realizing it is just a quiet time to remove all the things you are thinking. How that is, I don't know. Is it possible to tell us exactly how we can meditate? Because I've seen so many people meditating, but that meditating, it's a time they think about all their problems.
Yeah, well, it's always
It
good.
happens to me as well. It happens to me. That's why, because I'll say I'm meditating, but that moment I am meditating or I was meditating, it's as if the moment I'm thinking about all my problems. But that is not what meditation is all about.
Well, no, always try to, well, go back to a nice place in your mind. I know that people, they just wander off with their thoughts all the time, but when
Mm,
you realize it, just go back. So, and sometimes it's good to focus, for example, on your breathing, or focus. What I also like to do is that, for example, I'm just closing my eyes. I pretend that, and I inhale love,
mm,
and then I'm just first spreading it. Like when I breathe out, I just give that love to one person, and
mm,
then I'm breathing in again, and then to my whole village, and then to the universe. So I just make it like to the world, and then to the universe. So I make it bigger, and I just focus on my breathing and on these thoughts, because
mm,
I wonder to, like, I have to do my grocery shopping, I have to work, and do this, my whole to-do list. So it's always good to like focus on something, like inhaling love and spreading it out, for example.
mm.
And there's so many meditation techniques. It's just like try to find what fits you and what you like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. No, amazing. It's really good to know this, because I know there are so many people, when they think about meditation, they think it is a moment, a quiet moment to think about all your problems and how you will resolve all these problems around you.
Yeah, no, it's more about like giving yourself some me time, focusing on yourself, and always try to go back to, a quiet time, but not too quiet, because then your thoughts are wandering.
Oh,
But don't make it too complicated. I mean, and if it doesn't work, like just try it again tonight or tomorrow. Don't be harsh on yourself, because that gives
yeah.
stress and that's not good for the gut.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, and you talked about exercise.
Yeah.
I know you are Zumba or salsa.
Salsa.
Salsa. Oh my goodness. How does it you do
Yeah.
I think we can engage in that salsa and
We can do that. Salsa, bachata, kizomba, burlesque. I even do burlesque.
yeah.
With the sexy boas and.
Okay, sexy.
Yes, but I like hardcore salsa as well. So
Okay, that one that is danced in couple, that
yeah.
one they do like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like that, but yeah, it's couple dancing. So that's salsa,
Okay.
bachata, kizomba, but also cha-cha, boogaloo.
Cha-cha, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, they are all important for our health.
Yeah.
Right? Good.
Yeah, and there are some other things you can do. So we talked about exercising, the food, sleep. I already mentioned before. So try to sleep at least 7 hours a night, between 7 and 9. Too much sleep is also not good. Lowering stress by, for example, the breathing exercises. Mindful eating. That's also a good thing, because people always tend to. They're rushing all the time, even with eating. Just sit down, chew at least like 20 to 30 times per bite. Because then you already ate in your digestion. It's better for the carbohydrates are mainly like the being digested in your mouth. And then in your stomach, it should already be like more fluid than like whole pieces of food, so that the digestion will be much easier for the rest of the body. Yeah, so that's very important as well. So chew 20 to 30 times per bite.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of that. I just, we are always in a haste, always rushing. And where we are rushing to, we don't know. If there is food, we will just be eating fast because, you want to finish it and do another thing, or, rush out somewhere, which is not good. As doctor has advised us, if you are eating, make sure that you eat quietly. Do not rush while you are eating. Take your time, chew your food appropriately, quietly, and make sure that, you don't rush.
No.
Yeah. Wow. Again, how our gut impacts our health. You mentioned about weight. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but yeah, it's definitely influences your weight as well.
Weight, okay. Weight gain or weight loss, both of them.
Well, it depends. Like, for example, when you're very stressed, when you have a high cortisol levels all the time, then you cannot really lose weight. Then maybe you go and do lots of exercises, but then the exercise actually makes your body feel stressed as well. So your cortisol levels raise even more, and then you won't lose weight. And also for absorption, you need a good gut to get all the vitamins and everything, like to absorb everything. It's not only what you eat, but also what you can absorb.
Okay. Wow. That is highly impressive. A lot I have learned today, how it impacts our health and what we need to do to keep our gut healthy because once we are held, we take appropriate measures or factors to keep our goal, in the right direction, it means that we are maintaining a healthy lifestyle, which is good for us, because we all learn that health is wealth. Is that correct?
Yes, that's very correct.
Okay. Is there any other thing you can advise us?
Well, just every gut is unique. Like every person is unique, every gut is unique. So what works for one person might not work for someone else. So always listen to your body. Last time we talked about the poop.
Yeah.
I also say like write down like in a food mood poop journal how you feel, how you react to certain foods, for example. And because sometimes there's like healthy food, but it's not good for you or at this moment, or you have some sensitivities. So always listen to your body, diversify your foods. And if you never like been eating fermented foods, start slowly, because otherwise you get bloated as well.
Yeah.
Start slowly and diversify try to eat natural foods. So not.
Yeah. And it is absolutely interesting what you said about us, listening to our body and understand the signals. This, I can use myself as an example. I have this type of system that does not accept everything. So anything I eat that is not good in my body, it gives me a signal. And that is how I was able to eliminate certain food in my life, and try to maintain a particular way of eating. You understand? Like, I remember those days when I was in Italy, I used to eat pizza, McDonald's, and meat, honestly. But gradually, even when I was in Nigeria, I remember those days in Nigeria. So my mom would there is this thing we call akara. It is meat. Do you know akara?
Yeah, the green
it is beans, ground beans. They do it like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe one day I'll show you how it looks like. So, it is done in a way that after they have ground it and finished everything, and you fry it. I used to eat this a lot, but I started realizing that it was not good for me, because anytime I eat it, I feel as if I was dying, So I would, I'll go to my mom and, explain to her that is how I was feeling at that particular moment. So she took action. Any other time she saw me eating, so she would, you have started eating. Later you come and complain. And that was how I stopped eating, fried food, because I noticed that anytime I eat fried food, I stopped it. Then I moved to Italy. I started eating pizza, McDonald's, and all. I also realized that they were not good to me. I stopped and I felt good. Cafe, I started taking cafe, but I was not feeling good. I was having palpitation, ansia, it is called ansia. We call it anxiety in Italian language, ansia, anxiety in Italian language. Every time my husband would rush me to A&E because I was like fainting, was not breathing. Most of the time I will hold my chest like this so that, and when we arrive to hospital, they will do everything. After everything, they said nothing. To the extent, there was this particular tests they did. They did so many types of tests in order to make sure that I don't have a heart issue. ECG, even nation. They did up to 5 exams for heart. But they found out that no, I didn't have any issues. So what happened? I told one of the last exams I went, I told the doctor that it's like I knew exactly what was happening to me. He said, well, I said, it seemed that it's cafe. The doctor asked me, how much cafe do you take a day? And I was not taking more than 1 cup of coffee a day. What that is, that small, that small mug Italian use, very small. I was not taking more than that. Then I told Doc that I was taking only that. Doctor said that no, it can't be that only that cannot make you. I said, Doc, I know that. I stopped and I stopped taking tea. I started feeling okay. I was not having that palpitation. So anything, even in the UK, I find it difficult to eat a lot of things. Not because I don't want to eat it, but how can you eat something after you finished eating, you start struggling? It's as if you are dying. I said, God, please.
Many people do that. They keep eating, they feel bad or tired after some bad food, for example, and then they still keep on eating it because they like it.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel I say, God, so one, you eat, you finish eating, and you complain that you are not feeling good. And the next time you eat, I say, if I can do that, honestly, I'll be happy, because I don't know how they manage to, do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Everyone is different.
Everyone
and some people
is
don't listen to their body, or they don't get the link. But
and it's a same, and God has something to do with acid reflux. Is that correct?
Sorry, say that again.
Acid reflux,
Yeah.
acid reflux, it has something to do with gut, right?
Yes. I mean, there can be several reasons. Very often, that's why I said like chewing is so important, because a lot of people, they have too little acidity in their gut. And you need acidity, well, to kill pathogens that enter, but also for digestion. Acidity, like it's like two, the pH is about 2. It's really important to keep it that low. And lots of people have it way too high, and then they get the reflux and all the symptoms of heartburn and stuff like that. So then you actually should give more acidity to your stomach.
Yeah.
For example, with apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that one is working for me. I can't stop that.
That's your default.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that aids in digestion. So it's really important. If you have reflux, please don't take those anti-reflux pills like omeprazole or stuff like that. Add extra acidity. And I know it sounds scary, but it will definitely help your gut.
Wow.
Otherwise, also when you don't have enough acidity, what you also get is the bloating, for example. Because you
Wow.
don't digest well.
Wow. And I know where I come from, Nigeria, so many people have acid reflux issue, but they tend to see it as an ulcer, because both of them have slightly same symptoms.
Yeah.
And as what I have, realized, or what I have learned with these issues, you can only confirm ulcer if you have done that camera test.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you're not sure.
Yeah, you will only be sure once you've done that camera test to confirm that it's ulcer. But in Nigeria, I don't know how they do it. Everybody is saying that they have ulcer. But when most of them I know, when they tell me about the symptoms they have, I tell them, have you done that camera test? They said no, but they went to doctor, and doctor did all they did and said that they have ulcer. I said, you can't confirm such until you do the camera test. But from what you are explaining to me, it seems that it is acid reflux. And this is what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you feel that it's hurting, but it doesn't mean there is an ulcer. And of course, when you have your the acidity going into your esophagus all the time, there might be, and especially when there is Helicobacter pylori, that's a certain bacteria. Most of the people have it with them, but and it doesn't give any problems normally. But in combination with the reflux, for example, and when like the acid is burning into your esophagus all the time, then it can become an ulcer. But very often it's not happening. But it also depends on your stress levels again, on what you're eating, if you're eating healthily. So yeah, and then what you said, without the endoscopia, the gastroscopia, you cannot really tell or say like there's an ulcer or not. But just be careful, because if you have reflux all the time, it can harm your esophagus.
Wow. Anytime I get so enthusiastic anytime we are talking about our health. Because health is really important. You can't do anything without your health, you know. Good. So, Doc, is there any other thing you can tell us? Because you know, we are you know, almost at the end of our discussion today. Is there any other thing you can tell us regarding our goals, our health, and
yeah, there's so much to say. So
yeah.
I
Regarding
think
today's topic, any advice from you? And you know, because we have a lot to discuss. We haven't discussed about gratitude, because there was something you told me about gratitude, you know, and how it impacts our health. That's an important, you know, as I said earlier, these are those little things we neglect, not realizing how important they are to our health. We'll come to that in our next topic.
okay, yeah, because I was thinking about it several times during this talk, but we get next time.
Okay, that's amazing. And it is quite, you should not miss that. It is quite interesting. It is quite amazing how gratitude is highly important to our health and well-being. So, good.
Yes. So, yeah. First of all, listen to your body.
Yeah.
Everyone is different. Listen to like when you're responding, when you get bloating, when you get certain symptoms, write it down. I think always like start writing things down, because then you can see, okay, with this food, after 1 hour I get problems, or after 2 days I get problems, for example. Because if you have to remember everything, it's not possible. Just write things down, listen to your body, really start listening to your body, and try to lower stress levels and sleep better. I think those are the most.
Wow. Thank you so much, Doc. And before we close, as she said, listen to your body, sleep, do exercise, and lifestyle matters. Lifestyle matters, please. Before we close, I didn't want to bring this at the start of our talk, our discussion today. Based on our last discussion, someone asked an important question, which we didn't make. You know, when we discussed about our pool, somebody said, what of fault? You know what fault is when someone mess. Do you understand what it means? That is the smell.
Yeah.
So can that, you know, dictate what is happening to our body, what is happening to us, our system?
Yeah, well, a smell can definitely say something. For example,
now when you go to toilet, you know, the smell of your poo, because we discussed about the color, we discussed about the, you know, the shape, but the smell, we didn't touch that part.
Yeah, well, it's very hard because sometimes you need to smell certain things several times before you can recognize it like as a certain, but for example, a very intense smell, and once you've smelled it, you will never forget it. And that's when there is blood in your stool, but like from your stomach already. So then your poop normally is black, and then the smell is just
Horrendous.
Very different, yeah. But for example, to be honest, this morning I smelled my poop was like it was fishy, but I ate sardinias, quite a few sardinias yesterday.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was actually the first time that I smelled fish. But yeah, I could relate that to my
what you ate earlier, what you ate prior, right? You could
Yeah.
you could relate it to what you ate prior.
yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes there is some smells, but it's hard to explain a smell. So yeah, but definitely if it's different and it stays like differently, because poop smells differently all the time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you
Sometimes more
absolutely.
intense, sometimes it's okay.
No, and sometimes when someone goes first and you want to enter, you would not like, oh my goodness, I don't want to, I need to wait until
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, awesome. Thank you so much. Wow, we have come to the end of our discussion today, which is interesting. Our gut is really important, and it is our health. They say that good health begins in the gut. Please make sure that you take all the things that will make you live a healthy life. Remember, our goal is to focus on health as an asset rather than ill health as a burden. Our health is important. Health first. Health is wealth. Once we are healthy, we have everything to be wealthy. There is joy in health. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, our amazing doctor. How will I thank you? Thank you so much, and see you next time on an important topic. Bye.
Bye and bye.